East U.S. Hello there, I am your conscience. Now I know we don't talk much, or at all, but I've compiled a list of grievances, and I think it's about time I spoke up. Just open my little letter here. Oh, that's right. You only speak English. I'll just read it to you. Let's start with the twins on the 4th floor. They really aren't happy about the constant polluted environment they have to live in daily. It's made a significant difference in their health, appearance, and quality of life. They want you to air out the apartment and cut the pollutants out at the source. These are the factories causing it, and if you don't cut their funding and close them down, not only will the twins be angry, but the next-door neighbor, Mr. Liver, might just sue. He's the one tasked with filtering any pollutants out of the building, but these factories you keep running for hours on end make what should be a simple task strenuous. And Dr. Liver isn't just going to sue you for the pollutants those factories expel. He has also filled a lot of complaints about your drinking habits. It's seriously interfering with his work environment. In addition to his regular tasks, he also has to clean up all those toxic spills you down before another resident slips and possibly shrivels up from the toxicity of it all. Oh, and this guy, Mr. Gastro, is really fed up with your pack rat tendencies. What's worse is the type of items you store, these sticky piles of things that won't be decomposing anytime soon. He says he's been tripping over himself lately since he can't find anywhere other than his storage shed to redirect the steady flow of items to. Oh, and speaking of the steady flow of food items you almost constantly inhale into Gastro's system, quite a bit of that has to be delivered through the building. And the types of foods you tend to hoard the most has been sending most of the post office workers into overdrive. Probably the one that's been hit the hardest is my pal Pancreas. She's been getting so dizzy from the insane workloads lately. She's made some shipping errors, sending wrong amounts out at irregular intervals. If things don't calm down soon, she's going to quit without any further notice. Low blood sugar. Come on. Bent. High blood sugar. Yeah, that freaky image you just saw was T-Cell's new roommate, Cancer. The one using up all the supplies, yet not contributing to the good of the community. The one that you refuse to properly evict, randomly doing things that will annoy him, to see if he'll leave of his own accord, making money off the whole ordeal. And meanwhile, T-Cell has been running rampant, trying to detain and restrain him, completely depleting him of his usually commanding presence to keep unwelcome visitors out. Meanwhile, the CEO of your company is not happy with the way you've been handling things. He's been treated very poorly, often getting jostled around and receiving bruises whilst you slam him up against Senior Structure. And you've been destroying Senior Structure's ability to keep everything where it's supposed to be. Speaking of Senior Structure, he does not appreciate the constant injuries you incur. Sure, there are risks in his job description, but your risky way of running things almost gives the impression that you want all your employees out of commission. They call those bruises you've been inflicting on the CEO concussions, and they require a great deal of medical leave from his job. Not to mention, after so many of these, he's left with permanent damage, functioning worse and worse as time progresses. You do realize that forcing the entire building worth of workers to work days with little to no sleep is only going to tear the company apart, right? Not only does it make them inefficient, but they are more likely to make errors and have accidents without proper rest. Take care of the employees that take care of you. And watching what you eat and drink isn't just for the sake of Mr. Gastro and Miss Pancreas. What you put into your body affects everyone. Fats and lipids slow everyone down. Empty carbs, especially sugars, make employees think they've eaten enough for the next several hours, only to be used up in an hour's time. And greasy meats not only carry lipids, but they counteract the productivity proteins often leave in their wake. Aorta Vortex had an incredibly jarring experience she never quite recovered from when you experimented with that visitor, Meth. Her rhythm was completely thrown off as she tried to keep up with heightening demand for faster shipping through the constricting blood system. She had to deal with muscle tremors and rapidly dropping temperature of the company as a whole. So be careful, or a lot of your faithful employees and tenants might just quit on you, or worse, you could be responsible for their deaths. And that is my book.